All right, see you later.
This broadcast is a Stephen K. Media production.
The success of the small business person is the cornerstone of the American economy. Welcome to the Small Business Today Show with your hosts, Cruz and Hughes. The Small Business Today Show is for and about small business advancement and development. What we do for you. We'll be taking your calls as we provide you small business intelligence and mentorship needed to grow your business creatively. Keep listening. The Small Business Today Show with Cruz and Hughes starts now.
Hello and welcome back to today's episode of Small Business Today with Cruz and Hughes right here on Blog Talk Radio, where Irvin and I discuss the topics that inspires entrepreneurs from thought to action. We always welcome your calls, your comments, your questions. Our telephone number right here in the studio is 347-857-3958. Again, that number is 347-857-3958, or you can go right into the chat room, which is in Blog Talk. And if you have a question there, you can bang it out. And if Irvin and I don't pay attention, then Mr. Stephen K. will make certain that we give rise to it during the program. Irvin.
Yes, sir.
How was your day today, sir?
I had a great day today, man.
Tell me all about it.
Well, you know what? I started out this morning. You've been on my case, as many of our listeners know, about putting our training courses and seminars and whatnot online.
I am relentless.
Relentless, you
I
are.
do not give up.
And so I've been busy all day testing the platform and so on.
How's it going?
It's going great. Yesterday we kind of touched on that, and I said it was in beta. Well, now it's past the beta.
All right.
So now what we're doing is
what happens after beta?
Well, now we build the applications.
Okay.
The actual applications that people will see.
I thought you were going to say Zeta.
No.
So you're in Zeta now?
No, not Zeta, John. No, not Zeta. But no, it's actually gone very, very well. And
now it won't be ready for this Friday's class, though,
no,
will
it won't be ready for this
Okay.
Friday's class.
All right.
Because now that we know the platform will support the audience demand, now we need to build the applications, the what we call the customer-facing applications. In other words, when you come into our online presence, what are you going to see? What are you going to feel? What's the quality of the video and the audio and so on? So
sounds very difficult.
no, it's not difficult. It's just a lot of steps. Actually, it's interesting you bring that up because the steps are pretty simple. It's just a lot of steps, though. And so
Now, who's helping you with this?
just me and my IT folks.
Is that right?
Yeah.
So you sort of put the, I guess you do the vision, and then they build a platform around
that's
your vision.
exactly right. That's exactly right. And then I go and try and break it.
Well, I tell you what, I'm looking forward to
Yeah.
seeing this come to fruition. I know
Yeah.
that you're close, and I'm certain that our listeners who constantly email us and ask us,
know, right?
when is it going to happen? You
I
guys
know.
always talk about it. Irvin always comes on, and he talks about another
Right.
great class that's
Right.
coming up.
Right.
And I'm in Hoboken
Yep.
with no
That's
way to see what's going on down there in Houston.
That's exactly right. And more importantly, understanding what's going on in Hoboken.
Yeah.
I mean, they're spending money over there too.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
So some of the things that you teach, or the things that you do teach, cannot only be applied here in Houston, but they also can be applied
absolutely.
to wherever you are as it relates to doing business with government.
Absolutely. I mean, wherever you are in these United States, you have a government agency buying something near you. And because of that, it's incumbent upon us to make sure that we fulfill John's demands and get a training platform together. And so we're in the home stretch of getting that done. I'm pretty excited about that.
Now, let me ask you this. Now, would you say then that it's easier for someone who's just getting started with doing business with the government to start at the local level as opposed to going straight to the federal level?
Yeah, I would. In fact, I really, quite frankly, to be clear, I discourage a brand new person from going straight to the federal level.
Why is that?
Well, because at the federal level, the quantities are substantially higher. The stakes are higher. Mistakes can be catastrophic. And more importantly, many federal agencies, before they do business with you, and a lot of people don't know this, and there's a lot of folks out, John, who teach this stuff, but a lot of federal agencies require you to have past performance references
Okay.
from, get this, government agencies. So it's
very difficult to start right at the federal level.
It's very difficult to start right at the federal level. Most people who do start successfully at the federal level, generally they've acquired a company that was already working at the federal level, and that's kind of how they get going. But for a startup, and I know some of the federal government people will just have a cow when I'm saying this, but for a startup, it's just really, really challenging to start at the federal level when you've got no income, you've got no assets, you've got no references,
no credit. And let's be fair. I mean, there are a lot of firms. I would say, or would you say rather, the bulk of the firms that you work with are all newbies as it relates to.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. Yeah. The folks who are coming through our program, to be clear, and thanks for the question, John, the folks who are coming through our program who are doing the best are, believe it or not, the folks who have little or no experience.
Yeah.
And the reason why that is because they don't have to unlearn bad habits that they've acquired over the years. And so it's very easy for them to get acclimated to our system. Very simple for them to implement the simple step-by-step processes that help them become successful.
Mm-hmm. Well, now, for those of you who didn't catch the show yesterday, Irvin has a class that's coming up. It's this Friday from 10 a.m. to 12 noon. The class is all about doing business with the government. If you want to become a person who sells to the various levels of government, this is a great class for you to come in, listen to what that business is all about, what it entails, and what's expected of you to be successful in doing so. Irvin is going to answer all your questions. He's a great teacher. And again, it's going to be at the Kingdom Builder Center.
Yeah, it's going to be at the Kingdom Builder Center at 6011 West Orem, and that's here in Houston. I want to say their zip code is 77085. But Kingdom Builder Center, you can just Google that, and I promise you'll find it. And you can't miss that giant behemoth building. It's one of the best kept secrets in Houston, although the secret's going away.
Beautiful edifice.
Beautiful, absolutely state-of-the-art facility.
And so bring something to write with. The class is absolutely free. He's going to answer all your questions. And Stephen K. has given us the nod that it is 77085.
Super.
From 10 a.m. to 12 noon.
Yeah, absolutely. And I promise you we'll get you in and out of there. You'll be able to continue on with the rest of your day. But you'll be armed with all of the information that you need. All the questions will be answered. We won't leave you hanging with some burning question. We'll make sure that we finish in time to have a great Q&A.
I tell you what you should do is for some of the students who get a chance to come and they experience all of this information for free, they should be required to at least call into the show after the course.
You know what? We need to do that.
Yeah, and just let them in their own words say what they learned, whether or not they're going to make the decision to move forward with that business or if they think that they need a couple more years to marinate, as it were, because it's not for everyone, as you always say.
No, it's not for everyone. And quite honestly, that's why we do it this way. And I'm glad you brought that up. This opportunity is absolutely an opportunity, but it is not for everyone. But what we do, the reason why we do this seminar and we do this kind of orientation and we do it for free is to make sure that people get the opportunity to at least get the right information and then determine whether or not this thing will fit with whatever your goal structure might be.
Well, I think you're going to get an excellent opportunity. And for all of you guys who are watching in the other cities around the state of Texas and around the country, it's coming. He's putting a platform together whereby everyone can partake into this. And I'm telling you, I just have this vision of you having, 300-400 students every single time.
Oh, absolutely.
And that's just your online crowd.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's been so fun, though, to see how excited people are when they've won that first contract. And they've.
You know what? Let's set up someone who's won that first contract.
Absolutely.
If you have someone that's already supplied that contract and has gotten paid, let's bring them on the show,
absolutely.
Even if it's for a couple segments.
Well, I tell you what, why don't we do that?
Because I mean, that shows the people what's truly possible out here. Now, I've had an opportunity to meet some of those people.
Sure.
And it's like, I'm going to tell you what, if you've ever been to any type of amusement park with your child and they just rode their first roller coaster, that's the look that I see in these grown folks' eyes.
That's exactly right.
It's like, I want to go again.
Yeah, that's right. It's like, I've done it. And it's really cool. And I appreciate you giving this what we're doing this kind of time. But it's what we do on this show. I mean, the idea of economically empowering people in such a way that they can literally deliver on government contracts and and really make some money.
Yeah.
That's what the goal is to earn an income and earn some profits. And these guys have made some substantial profits because of the system that we teach them.
Well, I'll tell you what, once you do it once and you see that was possible,
right,
it only leads you to wonder what else is also possible.
That is exactly
so
right.
I could see some of these companies actually becoming some of the primes one day
no doubt
that small businesses do business with.
No doubt about it. And let me tell you what, John, these guys, I've been impressed at once they get out there and get in it. Even some of the folks who hadn't yet knocked down that first one, but they're actively bidding, those guys, man, some of the most positive people you'll ever want to meet. And so that's going to lead us, I guess, into what we'll talk about today is whether or not you're present.
Whether or not you're present. Do you have to be present to win?
You have to be present to win.
Well, that should be a great topic. Stick around. Irvin and I are going to talk about you must be present to win, and I guess you must be bidding in order to win a contract.
That's exactly
so it's sort of
right.
Similar. Guys, we're going to take a short break. When we come back, we're going to talk about our topic today, which is you must be present to win, so you don't want to miss that. You're listening to Cruz and Hughes, which is right here on Blog Talk Radio. If you'd like to give us a call, you can do so at 347-857-3958. Again, the number is 347-857-3958. This first segment is always brought to you by Small Business Today magazine. It is the magazine that is forward about Houston's entrepreneurs. If you'd like to get your free copy of the fantastic publication that we publish each and every month, go to smallbusinesstodaymagazine.com, put your information in, and we'll send one free to your email inbox each and every month. More in a moment with John Cruz and Irv Hughes right after this.
Website today with anythinginternet.com. Anything Internet will evaluate your website for traffic, for conversion, and why people go away. We'll help you generate the correct traffic that will turn into customers and make you money. Turn the juice up on your website today with anythinginternet.com. Turn your website into a web business. 1-800-686-5986.
Very often, people come to me saying,
Stephen, how do I make radio advertising work?
or even worse,
We've tried radio ads before and got little to no response.
so how do you make the radio work for you? Well, you could have a clever jingle.
Come buy my stuff. Come buy my stuff.
Or you may act crazy and loud and have an unbeatable offer.
I'll save you cash, I'll save you time, and I'll do it today, guaranteed.
But these techniques may work for some and not for others. The real key to advertising is to go back to basic marketing principles. Target your ideal prospect, make your message clear and concise, and touch the listener by connecting to their needs. Stephen K. Media specializes in radio advertising promotion that effectively broadcasts your company's message, yielding higher response and better results. As an independent agency representing major talk radio stations, we help you negotiate rates and place your ads targeting your ideal prospect. Call us today at 713-278-9109 or visit stephenk.biz. That's 713-278-9109 or email info@stephenk.biz. Are you looking to improve your health and well-being? Have you lost your energy and vitality? Do you wake up feeling 10 years older than you actually are? Looking for a doctor who really listens? Looking for a natural alternative to your chronic health challenge? Dr. Dan Cuny is a chiropractic nutritionist who helps restore your health from the inside out using whole food supplements and specific nutritional counseling. Learn more about Dr. Dan's 7 Pillars of Health on his website, drdancuny.com, or give him a call at 713-295-9358.
Introducing the alternative to heavy news. Now at,
Excuse me, heavy news?
you know, disasters, politics, stock market,
And this alternative is
coffee news. It's entertaining stories, famous quotes, and family fun. It's light news. Why it's so light, it's free.
free?
In restaurants and coffee shops all across Houston. So next time you're waiting in a restaurant, look for coffee news. If they don't have it, tell them to get it by visiting coffeenewshouston.com.
It's light. It's free. It's coffee news.
With my Plantronics Voyager Pro Plus headset, I'm free. Free to talk to you while carrying a laptop bag, holding a cup of coffee, and fishing for my car keys. Now, you may ask me, Jim, is it really necessary to use the phone while doing all these things? My answer is it really necessary not to? Plantronics Voyager Pro Plus. It's my so comfortable, why wouldn't I use it all day headset.
Get your Voyager Pro Plus at Plantronics.com.
You're listening to Small Business Today. Visit us on the web at cruzandhughes.com. Here are your hosts, Cruz and Hughes.
Okay, welcome back to the show. If you're listening live and you want to give Irvin and I a piece of your mind, please pick up your telephone. You can call us at 347-857-3958. Again, the number here to the studio is 347-857-3958. Today we're talking about you must be present to win, and that is something that was is the brainchild of Irvin Hughes. So when you say that I must be present to win, Irvin, tell me, to which are you referring, or to what are you referring?
You know what? A lot of people, John, for whatever reason in business are just not paying attention. You know, you got to pay attention, folks. You got to pay attention. And what I mean by that, you need to be present to win, because there are things that are going on around you. There are things that are happening to you that are going to impact your ability to become successful, to reach your goals. But if you're not present, and what I'm talking about is your presence of mind. A lot of people are physically present, but in their mind, they're just not present. And I believe you need to be present to win. I believe that a lot of times people lose touch with their presence. In other words, you're here. There are things that are that you're allowing that you shouldn't allow.
Give me an example.
Well, for example, if you allow yourself to be late all the time, okay, that's going to keep you from winning, because at some point that is going to cost you.
Yeah.
And so when you let yourself off the hook, one of the problems is now how do you effectively deal with everyone else that you deal with? If you're in a situation where you have a relationship issue where all of your relationships somehow or another they turn out bad. You just got bad people around you all the time.
Well, everybody else can't be fools.
Everybody.
Yeah.
You know, and I see this, and that's kind of what I'm getting at, is that what gets between you and your goals? You know what happened? You lost track.
Yeah.
You got off the freeway someplace. Something got your attention other than your objective.
So how do you stay focused? How do you train yourself to keep your eye, and I don't want to use the term prize, but keep your eye on your goal and to stay focused? Because here's the thing, in business, things are going to happen.
Sure.
I mean, there's some days even in our business where, we just take a beating.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
You know, and it makes you wonder: do I want to come back here tomorrow?
Right. Yeah.
But how do you keep yourself focused and trained in on, hey, this is what I'm going to do?
Yeah, you really have to resolve that. And I'm using the word resolve on purpose here, John, is because a lot of people are indecisive. They still have options. They haven't burned the boats.
Okay.
If you don't burn the boat, and what I mean by that, folks, if you decide that you're going to cross this river, you're going to cross this gulf, you're going to come out of the world of mediocrity and you're going to become excellent because you want to earn a huge income, you've got to decide that this is what you will do, and you're not going to retreat, you're not going to go back, and that will lead you to stay focused even though all kinds of chaos may be happening around you, which kind of leads me to some questions that a person really needs to ask themselves so that they can connect with their presence. And you know, one of the questions is some of these questions are very simple, and that is like, what are you feeling right now? Yeah, how do you feel right now? I mean, are you all right with everything that's going on with you? Yes or no? That's a question. And if you're not okay with everything that's going on around you, what is it that's bothering you?
What are you not okay with?
Yeah, what are you not okay with? And if you're not okay with whatever is happening...
But I can give you some answers to those questions.
Okay, exactly.
Let's say there are many entrepreneurs out there, and I believe that they would answer those questions in this fashion. Are you okay with everything right now? No, I'm not. What are you not okay with?
Right.
Well, I'm not okay with the commitment that I have from my staff. I'm not okay with the fact that I'm having difficulty touching enough money. Like, I just met with a lady today that has a fantastic, superbly run infusion center. And she has the ability to expand her business. She has the clients in place to expand her business to $1 million a month in billing.
Mm-hmm.
But she can't find any person to put $1 behind her business so that she can go out and capture this business.
Right.
So these are some of her answers even. I'm not okay with not being able to raise the money that it takes to grow my business at the next level.
Sure.
I'm not okay being hand to mouth, check to check, deal to deal, each and every month. And I've been doing this for X amount of years, and it seems as though nothing is changing.
Well, see, and that's kind of what I was getting at with the question, is that there are two things that get between people in their goals. And if they don't have the presence of mind, if they can't connect to their present, now the good thing about your conversation is it sounds like the lady you were talking to is present. Because there are two things, and that's feelings and behaviors.
Mm-hmm.
For example, a lot of times I don't want to exercise.
Mm-hmm.
All right, but that's a behavior that I get into that causes me to feel bad.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So part of what I've got to do now is I've got to deal with that behavior. Mm-hmm. Because I know I do feel better when I exercise, right?
That's right.
All right, so many of us are like that, where we'll put it off, and it becomes an issue of procrastination, right? But if you don't have the presence of mind to recognize what I just said, you don't even know that that's a behavior. You can deal with a behavior. Why? Because it's yours. You're the only one who can break a behavior.
That's true.
Nobody else can break it.
You got to create a new habit.
You've got to create a new habit.
Now, let's go back to this dejected entrepreneur that I just gave you these answers to that first question for. What would be your advice to me? I mean, would it be to just cash it all in right now and go and find me a job? Because if you've been doing this for several years and it ain't getting no better, then you should just quit now.
No. I would, first of all, if I'm talking to this person, I want to know, do they want to win? Yes or no? And then number two, are you willing to pay everything it's going to take for you to make that change?
Now, I got to interject. And I have to say that when you look at a person's habits, when you look at what they're doing in their business, now I look at what you're doing, not at what you're saying.
Right.
Because all of us will say, I want to go to heaven.
Right.
But none of us will be first to die.
That's right.
Including myself. I don't want to die. I'm having fun on this level.
That's exactly right.
I don't want to make the transition just yet.
That's exactly
so
right.
the thing is in your business, if you ask, do you want to win? Well, of course my answer is going to be yes. However, my actions may not be consistent with that statement that I just made. And I think therein lies the divide. Therein lies the problem.
Right.
Now, how do we get those actions congruent with your words?
Right. And that's kind of what I was getting at. If you don't get into what these behaviors are, if you can't catalog them, now, behaviors sort of lead to actions, right?
Okay.
And so now you've got an underlying foundational problem with the actions that you're taking. Because if you don't identify those behaviors, that's going to lead to the actions, and those actions are going to lead to the outcomes that you said you wanted. But then when you back up and say, yeah, but I don't want to do this exercise thing. I don't want to do this, that, or the other. Now, a lot of that ties back to motivation, and that is, if you can't get motivated about your goals enough to overcome your desire for your goals needs to lift you out of whatever is holding you back. That's the point.
Can I throw something in here?
Sure.
When you say that, do you want to win? I know that most of you are going to say, yes, I do. I want you to grab a sheet of paper, and I don't know if you can see this, but I'm going to show it up on the...
What are you talking about, man? We're broadcasting in HD.
I'm going to show it up on the screen, and if you can see it, great. If you can't, I'm gonna describe it. But if you take a piece of paper,
right,
and you put in on that piece of paper just a big cross, and about a quarter way down through the cross, you draw a perpendicular line, and on one side of the cross, you should write winning actions.
Okay.
And then on the other side, you should write not winning actions. And I want you to take inventory of yourself. And this is something that you have to do as an entrepreneur each and every month. What are the things that you are doing that you know are fundamentally sound,
right?
That are why you are having
right.
some level of success,
right?
I get to work on time.
Right.
I stay focused during the work hours on things that promote profit or bring revenue. I mean, what are those things? I make certain that I file my taxes on time. I make sure that my payroll taxes are current and paid. I don't create unnecessary problems for myself in those areas.
That's right.
But then we go over to the other side of the cross in that section that says not winning.
Right.
What are the things that you know that you're doing that are keeping you from achieving the level of success that you claim or that you say you want for yourself?
What you said you wanted.
Many of us, Irvin, know what those things are.
We all know.
I mean, you could pay a high-priced consultant like Irvin Hughes to come in and tell you the very things that you know.
I will confirm it for you.
Because here's the thing. When I've sat with individuals and I'll say, well, okay, well, you're doing this. These are the reasons why you're not winning. You're not doing this. You're not.
Right.
Yeah, I know. I know. I'm like, well, if you know so damn much, why do you have me here?
What is this about?
That makes sense. So my thing is that take inventory of yourself. Listen to what Irvin is saying.
Right.
Make that list. What are the things that you're doing that are keeping you in the game?
Right.
And what are the things that you're doing or not doing that are keeping you from leading the game, leading the pack?
That's exactly
right. And
right.
I guarantee you're going to know what they are.
Oh, absolutely. And I want to hit these three questions. Folks, these are three questions I want you to ask yourself to determine if you are in your presence. All right. Number one, what feelings and behaviors do you experience that you no longer desire? All right. What causes you to reach for a new goal? What is that motivation? What personal or professional environments do you experience these feelings in that you don't want to feel anymore? And then what are you experiencing specifically? Can you write those down? Can you identify what you see, what you hear, and what you feel when you have those experiences that you don't desire anymore? Get in the presence, because guess what, folks? When you identify those things that are bugging you, even if you're the person that's doing it, stop doing it, but you got to identify them first.
Stay tuned for more from the corporate psychologist, Mr. Irvin Hughes. He's listening.
Oh, my goodness. Folks, you're listening to Small Business Today with Cruz and Hughes. It's brought to you by Dominion Commercial Credit. Dominion Commercial Credit offers the best in business credit and contract financing for small businesses nationwide. You can give them a call today at 800-381-0073 or visit net30credit.com. Stay with us. More in a moment.
Are you looking to improve your health and well-being? Have you lost your energy and vitality? Do you wake up feeling 10 years older than you actually are? Looking for a doctor who really listens? Looking for a natural alternative to your chronic health challenge? Dr. Dan Cooney is a chiropractic nutritionist who helps restore your health from the inside out using whole food supplements and specific nutritional counseling. Learn more about Dr. Dan's 7 Pillars of Health on his website, drdancooney.com, or give him a call at 713-295-9358.
Introducing the alternative to heavy news. Now at...
Excuse me, heavy news?
You know, disasters, politics, stock market.
And this alternative is...
Coffee news. It's entertaining stories, famous quotes, and family fun. It's light news. Why it's so light, it's free.
Free?
In restaurants and coffee shops all across Houston. So next time you're waiting in a restaurant, look for coffee news. If they don't have it, tell them to get it by visiting coffeenewshouston.com.
It's light. It's free. It's coffee news.
With my Plantronics Voyager Pro Plus headset, I'm free. Free to talk to you while carrying a laptop bag, holding a cup of coffee, and fishing for my car keys. Now, you may ask me, Jim, is it really necessary to use the phone while doing all these things? And my answer is it really necessary not to? Plantronics Voyager Pro Plus. It's my so comfortable, why wouldn't I use it all day headset.
Get your Voyager Pro Plus at Plantronics.com.
Turn up the sales on your website today with AnythingInternet.com. Anything Internet will evaluate your website for marketing power, for traffic, for conversion rates. We'll figure out why people buy and why people go away. We'll help you generate the correct traffic that will turn into customers and make you money. Turn the juice up on your website today with AnythingInternet.com. Turn your website into a web business. 1-800-686-5986.
Very often, people come to me saying,
Stephen, how do I make radio advertising work?
or even worse,
We've tried radio ads before and got little to no response.
so how do you make the radio work for you? Well, you could have a clever jingle.
Come buy my stuff. Come buy my stuff.
Or you may act crazy and loud and have an unbeatable offer.
I'll save you cash. I'll save you time, and I'll do it today, guaranteed.
But these techniques may work for some and not for others. The real key to advertising is to go back to basic marketing principles. Target your ideal prospect, make your message clear and concise, and touch the listener by connecting to their needs. Stephen K. Media specializes in radio advertising promotion that effectively broadcasts your company's message, yielding higher response and better results. As an independent agency representing major talk radio stations, we help you negotiate rates and place your ads targeting your ideal prospect. Call us today at 713-278-9109 or visit stephenk.biz. That's 713-278-9109 or email info@stephenk.biz.
You're listening to Small Business Today with Cruz and Hughes. Follow us on LinkedIn, Facebook, and Twitter. We're wherever you are.
Okay, welcome back to the show. Irvin and I are talking about you must be present to win today, and we're talking about the psychology of winning, the psychology of operating in the moment in your business. And we left off, and you gave 3 questions that you wanted these entrepreneurs to ask themselves.
Yeah, I really wanted everybody to understand these feelings and behaviors that you don't want. You know, what are those things? Identify them and get rid of them.
Yeah.
Find those people and places that you're around when you have these feelings. And guess what? Distance yourself from those. And then number 3, what specifically are you feeling? Are you seeing things or hearing things or feeling things when you have these particular experiences that you don't want? Is something triggering that?
Yeah.
Yeah, and stay out of those places. And then, I thought in this segment, John, we actually, now that we've identified, hey, here's some things that we don't want anymore. And how about this? How do you go about achieving what you desire without asking yourself some very specific questions about how to measure your goals? So oftentimes I talk to people and I'll ask them, well, tell me what your goal is. And
to earn money.
Okay, well, see, that is not specific enough.
Okay.
You can't quantify that. That doesn't mean anything. You know, one of the things that's helped me be successful all these years in business, John, is I always get what I want. And I'm spoiled rotten because of it.
Cranky baby.
I'm a very cranky baby
I'm the
because
same way.
I always get what I want. And let me tell you what, folks, I'm willing to even wait to get what I want.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sorry that I just said that to some of you because some of you have patience issues. And now that means now you settle for it. But because I'm willing to wait, I'm less willing to compromise. And
that makes sense.
Yeah, because
that makes sense.
Yeah, because I'm willing to wait because I don't want to compromise.
Right.
And I won't compromise on my goals. And here's the question: what is your goal? And is there anything that you desire instead of your goal?
So my goal can't be as broad as saying my desire is to earn lots of money.
No.
Okay.
No, you can't.
Let me strike that.
No, you can't. No, you can't say that. And then
that's too broad.
That's too broad.
Okay.
And then secondly, are your goals aligned with your values?
Now, what if I don't know what my values are?
Well, see, they're in again. You've got to identify those.
See, now these are 2 questions that some people just have not taken the time to answer because, number one, they cannot relate answering these questions to any level or modicum of success in their business.
Right.
But you're saying that these are very important questions that must be taken
answer.
seriously and answered.
You got to answer these questions because they're going to affect how efficiently you go about achieving these goals. Because I'm stunned, quite frankly, at the number of business people that I meet, John, whose attention span is so limited. Now, we've all got things that are vying for our attention. Don't get me wrong.
Right.
But when you're unconscious,
yeah,
you're not present
yeah.
in your brain to be able to determine what's important and what's an emergency. See, a lot of people get hung up in emergencies.
And that's a very good point. Are you the type of entrepreneur that as soon as something comes up,
right,
you all of a sudden focus your attention on that? So that means that you break and stop what you may be doing.
That's right.
Could be quite seemingly more important.
That's right.
Than this emergency.
That's right.
Or this important thing, I'll say.
That's right.
And but you have to be able to determine.
You've got to be able to determine that, but see, you can't. It's difficult to determine that if you hadn't answered some of these kinds of questions.
That's a good point.
And so I see, like, for example, I have a fair amount of business people that I work with, and I've been working with them for a while to help them get past some of this sort of thing, because they get into cyclical financial difficulty because they pay attention to all these things that they perceive as emergencies.
Mm-hmm.
And quite frankly, then they use those emergencies to ignore all the important things that are required for them to earn an income. And therein lies the problem. Well, my neighbor backed over my mailbox. Okay, now really, is that an emergency?
Right.
Well, I can't be in business if I can't get no mail. Well, see,
yeah, really?
Really? All right, really?
Now, if you're on your way to a meeting,
right,
would you allow that to derail you and make you late?
Exactly.
Now, the only way that I'm going to make that priority is I know for a fact my $1 million check is coming today. I got to have a mailbox.
That's right. And now you would stop and set the mailbox up.
But otherwise,
right.
That's something that I can table for later.
That's exactly right. But when you don't have these questions answered, it's very difficult to determine what is an emergency. And I think one of the things I found, John, is that once people identify and they answer these questions, they have little or no emergencies.
Yeah.
Because now they've got a measuring stick that says, well, let's see, am I bleeding?
Yeah.
And well, that may or may not be an emergency. Now, if I'm bleeding profusely, that's an emergency.
Right.
Right. But if I scratch myself shaving,
get a paper cut.
I got a paper cut.
Yeah.
Well, I may be bleeding, but that's not an emergency.
Yeah.
You see what I'm getting at?
And I think that it takes a little experience in business to be able to determine what's important and what is an emergency.
That's right.
And how you handle both.
That's right.
And do you stop and derail your day in order to handle either one?
That's right.
That's a good point. Now, the question again that you wanted these individuals to take note of was, are your goals aligned with your values?
Right.
Which calls for you to not only be able to articulate what those goals are,
right,
specifically,
and
know what your values are. And your value system are those things that are important to you. Now, if you want to hear a great talk on values, you need to go to our list of shows. Check us out at Cruz and Hughes on YouTube.
Sure.
The day that we had Dr. DeMartini, Dr.
Absolutely.
John DeMartini on the show.
Absolutely.
And he did a great and powerful talk about goals and values.
That's exactly right.
And so you want to know exactly what's important to you, because that is going to shape your goals.
Absolutely. And then next, do you have a clear picture of what achieving this goal is going to do for you? A lot of times people say, well, I want to make a lot of money. Okay, well, great. What is that going to do for you? I mean,
it's going to afford me the luxury of buying things.
Okay, buying what?
Cars.
Okay, what
houses.
What house?
Yeah.
That's the point.
Yeah.
Because now that's what I mean by being are you present?
Mm-hmm.
You see, are you present? In other words, have you packed up and moved to the future that you want?
Yeah.
Are you present there, or are you present here?
Yeah.
And you got to be present to win, folks, because that's the only way you can live in the place that you want to live in.
So when you say present, you mean present in the moment.
Right.
Present in your business.
Right.
Understanding exactly where you are at that moment.
Right.
Before you can figure out where exactly it is that you're going.
That's exactly right. If you've ever gone to a shopping mall, let me tell you what, and you've never been there.
I hate those things, man. What do you call that?
The mall map.
The mall map.
The mall map. The mall directory.
And I'm going to tell you something. I'm so slow for learning because I'll be looking at the "You Are Here" sign.
That's right.
And I'm still trying to figure out exactly where here is.
That's right.
And someone else will come up and say, okay, this is where we are. We're going that way.
That's right.
I got to figure out if I'm north, south. I mean, what's behind me? So, yeah, you need to do that in your business.
Hey, you got to do that in your business. If you don't know where the "You Are Here" is, guess what? And it doesn't mean that you've taken action on this.
Yeah.
A lot of times, this is not an indictment on you, folks. I mean,
Yeah.
if you know where you are and you know why you are, that's okay. You may not be in a position where you have the tools, the resources, the people, or the inclination to do anything about it, but you've now identified it. It's not sneaking up on you and stealing from you because you are fully aware of where you are.
I think that's good information. As it relates to business, these are some of those non-academic things that we often talk about on the show. And those academic things, in my opinion, Irv, you really can get that anywhere.
Well, that's very true.
I mean, how to read a balance sheet, and I know that that's your thing too.
But it's
I mean,
out there.
it's out there. I mean, you can figure those things out. But these are those academic things are the bricks.
That's right.
But this stuff here is the mortar.
That's right.
That holds all those bricks together.
Right.
And sometimes you need more mortar.
That's exactly right. Most times you need more mortar.
Yeah.
That's a multi-thousand-year-old argument about building a city without bricks or making bricks without straw. We can keep this
keep
up
that
all,
argument going.
We can keep
what
this
came
up all
first,
day.
the chicken or the egg?
That's exactly right. And and that's why it's so critical that we talk about some of these kinds of things, because I don't know where else a business person could go and have an intelligent conversation about some of these intangible things that will show up in the tangible world and keep you away from those goals.
And you know what? Where else can you go other than Cruz and Hughes and not only get that type of conversation, but talk to two people who can also speak to you on an academic level about business as well?
No doubt about it. You're listening to Small Business Today with Cruz and Hughes. It's brought to you by the Lexington Law Firm. When you need credit help, you can get a free consultation today by calling 888-744-7081. Folks, stay with us. The education will continue right after these messages.
Turn up the sales on your website today with AnythingInternet.com. Anything Internet will evaluate your website for marketing power, for traffic, for conversion rates. We'll figure out why people buy and why people go away. We'll help you generate the correct traffic that will turn into customers and make you money. Turn the juice up on your website today with AnythingInternet.com. Turn your website into a web business. 1-800-686-5986.
Very often, people come to me saying,
Stephen, how do I make radio advertising work?
Or even worse,
we've tried radio ads before and got little to no response.
So how do you make the radio work for you? Well, you could have a clever jingle.
Come buy my stuff. Come buy my stuff.
Or you may act crazy and loud and have an unbeatable offer.
I'll save you cash. I'll save you time, and I'll do it today, guaranteed.
But these techniques may work for some and not for others. The real key to advertising is to go back to basic marketing principles. Target your ideal prospect, make your message clear and concise, and touch the listener by connecting to their needs. Stephen K. Media specializes in radio advertising promotion that effectively broadcasts your company's message, yielding higher response and better results. As an independent agency representing major talk radio stations, we help you negotiate rates and place your ads targeting your ideal prospect. Call us today at 713-278-9109 or visit stephenk.biz. That's 713-278-9109 or email info@stephenk.biz. Are you looking to improve your health and well-being? Have you lost your energy and vitality? Do you wake up feeling 10 years older than you actually are? Looking for a doctor who really listens? Looking for a natural alternative to your chronic health challenge? Dr. Dan Cuny is a chiropractic nutritionist who helps restore your health from the inside out using whole food supplements and specific nutritional counseling. Learn more about Dr. Dan's 7 Pillars of Health on his website, drdancuny.com, or give him a call at 713-295-9358.
Introducing the alternative to heavy news. Now at...
Excuse me, heavy news?
You know, disasters, politics, stock market.
And this alternative is...
Coffee News. It's entertaining stories, famous quotes, and family fun. It's light news. Why it's so light, it's free.
Free?
In restaurants and coffee shops all across Houston. So next time you're waiting in a restaurant, look for Coffee News. If they don't have it, tell them to get it by visiting coffeenewshouston.com.
It's light. It's free. It's Coffee News.
With my Plantronics Voyager Pro Plus headset, I'm free. Free to talk to you while carrying a laptop bag, holding a cup of coffee, and fishing for my car keys. Now, you may ask me, Jim, is it really necessary to use the phone while doing all these things? And my answer is it really necessary not to? Plantronics Voyager Pro Plus. It's my so comfortable, why wouldn't I use it all day headset.
Get your Voyager Pro Plus at Plantronics.com.
You're listening to Small Business Today. Visit us on the web at cruzandhughes.com. Here are your hosts, Cruz and Hughes.
Okay, welcome back to the show. Irvin and I are talking about you must be present to win. You must be present in your business, the here and now, totally focused on what's happening to you at that moment. You know, we also talked a little bit about paying attention and being focused.
Right.
You know what I can't stand is
what's that?
This Pepsi generation.
Uh-oh.
When we're in a meeting and someone is on their cell phone while trying to conduct business, answering emails, text messages, and I don't care who you are.
Yeah.
If you're in a negotiation,
right,
turn off your cell phone, whatever it is, can wait 30 minutes to an hour while you stay focused on the deal at hand.
That's exactly
to me, there's nothing more disrespectful. I just had to throw that out there. Well, I know it's not even Friday.
No,
but
that sounds like a soapbox.
That's definitely one of my soapboxes.
Well, you know, John, here's the thing. You know, we've been talking about being present. And oftentimes people will just zone out in a conversation.
Yeah.
And what's funny is how adamant they'll be when they come back later and say, these points were never discussed.
Yeah.
They left,
how would you know?
They don't know. They left the room.
Yeah.
You know, even though they were physically there.
Yeah.
But the presence of mind, all gone. So in this segment, John, I do want to talk about one thing before we get to the tail end of this, and that's talking about milestones.
All right.
A lot of times people don't benchmark milestones. In other words, identifying those things, those data points, those places that they need to cross that's between them and their goal. For example, if you're on a trip from Houston to Dallas, one of the milestones is a small town called Centerville.
It lets you know you're halfway there,
baby. It lets you know you're
150
halfway there.
miles
it's
to go.
150 more miles to go. And here's the point. What are those milestones for you? Have you set them? And let me just put it like this. Don't set less than 3 milestones. Set 3 or more milestones. Why? Because the milestones represent segments that you should have passed on your way through to your goal.
You know, and that gives me something to think about, because that sort of puts you in the mind of having to identify and describe what that success looks like.
That's right.
And those milestones lets you know if that picture is actually becoming clear or becoming more hazy.
That's exactly right. And you'll find this, we find this more, John, with people who have a tough time making decisions about, and I'm talking about management decisions, things like that where they don't have really clearly defined objectives.
Yeah.
And so just about anything is okay. When quite frankly, if you had milestones set, it's so much easier to make business decisions in the course of your company, because now you simply ask yourself the question, does this take me toward my milestone, back from my milestone, or does it stop the trip? And now it's very easy to identify whether or not this is something I should be doing.
Yeah.
Now, it may be attractive, and that's what happens to a lot of people. That's what I mean by not being present. A lot of times people, because they don't have these things all lined out, they don't have that one, and get this, you're going to love this, John, they don't have that one piece of paper with the milestones on it. That's all it is. Sometimes it's a 3x5 card with the milestones on it. It doesn't matter. But is it out of your mind and in the physical realm on a piece of paper where you can see it, feel it, touch it? And that will help you stay focused and help you make decisions when these things come on you. Sometimes it's just life. Sometimes it's conditions. Sometimes it's a hurricane.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's things you can't do a whole bunch about, but it doesn't let you off the hook from achieving your milestones. Just because these things happened, they happened.
I sort of like that. I like the fact that you're asking them to verbalize that, to put that in writing.
Put it in writing.
And that to me is I hate to use the word training wheels, but it sort of gives you that guidance that you need to make certain that you're moving in the direction that you should be moving.
Exactly.
I love that.
Exactly, because that's the only way you can tell whether or not you're going the right way. Imagine a basketball game with no hoops.
It might as well be a track meet.
Well, we can. we can just watch people dribble, and they could be extremely talented at that.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure I'd pay for a ticket for that.
Yeah. How do you know who wins?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. That's the point. And that happens in business all the time. When we question business owners, a lot of times, John, they're not really sure
if they're getting the ball at the basket.
No, they have no idea. Well, and here's the answer I get a lot, because I'm in finance, so I get this a lot. Well, we don't bounce checks. Now,
okay. That's
not management.
Yeah.
And that's not a milestone.
Yeah.
And that's not a goal.
Yeah.
That's like saying, well, I'm breathing.
Yeah.
Well, okay.
But you're on the couch all day.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what?
So what?
Yeah.
Yeah. What good did you do?
Right.
Yeah. And did that take you toward your goal? Yes or no?
Certainly.
And so oftentimes we find people who get into these kinds of things without asking these questions. And it's, you got to identify these markers.
Now, once the markers have been identified,
once
you're moving in that direction.
Once you're moving in that direction, now the question is, who will I become? When I achieve these milestones, when I get across this gulf that's between me and my goals, who will I be then? What will that person look like? How will that person act? Where will that person live? How will that person dress? Who will I become? You do a great talk on, not being yourself.
Yeah.
Because yourself is how you got in this mess.
Don't be you anymore.
Don't be you anymore.
Because that ain't working.
That's exactly right. And you've proven that already. Being you got you to where you are right now.
It's time to be somebody else.
Be somebody else and in a hurry.
Yeah.
But you know what? Setting milestones helps you do that.
Yeah.
And, but you can't do that until you identify who you're going to be when you get there.
Let me ask you a question. It's no secret that our good friend Donald Trump believes that high-level success, especially at the entrepreneurial level, can't be taught. Right. He feels that it just has to be in the genes. Right. Now, what's your take on that?
I think that's absolutely false.
Really?
I do think that's false. Yeah, I think that's false.
So you think that everyone who sets out to start a business, and everybody's success is relative. It's going to be different for everyone.
Of course.
But you believe that every person has what it takes to be successful in their business.
Yes.
So you're going to debunk the great one.
No, I am debunking the great one. Let me tell you what, everyone has the ability to be successful. And let me tell you how I know.
Okay.
Because I think it's not fair to say that without saying how I know. They would not have the desire if it were not
possible.
If it were not within their power to do so, that desire would not even come up.
That's a good point.
So for somebody to say that it's got to be in the genes, no. It comes from a series of systematic triggering of desire.
Yeah.
Right? To achieve these goals at all costs. We talk about all the time, and hey, your first objective is to overcome any obstacle.
Each and every one.
And guess what? The minute you've resolved not to do that, you made a decision.
Well, you just limited.
You just limited yourself, and that's what you were supposed to get.
Yeah.
You're listening to Small Business Today with Cruz and Hughes. It's brought to you by SalesNexus.com. SalesNexus offers the best in web-based customer relationship management systems. You can sign up today for a free trial copy of SalesNexus by visiting SalesNexus.com or give them a call at 888-267-3589. Stay with us, folks. We're in the home stretch. We'll be right back.
Are you looking to improve your health and well-being? Have you lost your energy and vitality? Do you wake up feeling 10 years older than you actually are? Looking for a doctor who really listens? Looking for a natural alternative to your chronic health challenge? Dr. Dan Cooney is a chiropractic nutritionist who helps restore your health from the inside out using whole food supplements and specific nutritional counseling. Learn more about Dr. Dan's 7 Pillars of Health on his website, drdancooney.com, or give him a call at 713-295-9358.
Introducing Introducing the alternative to heavy news. Now at...
Excuse me, heavy news?
You know, disasters, politics, stock market.
And this alternative is?
Coffee news. It's entertaining stories, famous quotes, and family fun. It's light news. Why it's so light, it's free.
Free?
In restaurants and coffee shops all across Houston. So next time you're waiting in a restaurant, look for coffee news. If they don't have it, tell them to get it by visiting coffeenewshouston.com.
It's light. It's free. It's coffee news.
With my Plantronics Voyager Pro Plus headset, I'm free. Free to talk to you while carrying a laptop bag, holding a cup of coffee, and fishing for my car keys. Now, you may ask me, Jim, is it really necessary to use the phone while doing all these things? And my answer is it really necessary not to? Plantronics Voyager Pro Plus. It's my so comfortable, why wouldn't I use it all day headset.
Get your Voyager Pro Plus at Plantronics.com.
Turn up the sales on your website today with AnythingInternet.com. Anything Internet will evaluate your website for marketing power, for traffic, for conversion rates. We'll figure out why people buy and why people go away. We'll help you generate the correct traffic that will turn into customers and make you money. Turn the juice up on your website today with AnythingInternet.com. Turn your website into a web business. 1-800-686-5986.
Very often, people come to me saying,
Stephen, how do I make radio advertising work?
Or even worse,
we've tried radio ads before and got little to no response.
So how do you make the radio work for you? Well, you could have a clever jingle.
Come buy my stuff. Come buy my stuff.
Or you may act crazy and loud and have an unbeatable offer.
I'll save you cash. I'll save you time, and I'll do it today, guaranteed.
But these techniques may work for some and not for others. The real key to advertising is to go back to basic marketing principles. Target your ideal prospect, make your message clear and concise, and touch the listener by connecting to their needs. Stephen K. Media specializes in radio advertising promotion that effectively broadcasts your company's message, yielding higher response and better results. As an independent agency representing major talk radio stations, we help you negotiate rates and place your ads targeting your ideal prospect. Call us today at 713-278-9109 or visit stephenk.biz. That's 713-278-9109 or email info@stephenk.biz.
You're listening to Small Business Today with Cruz and Hughes. Follow us on LinkedIn, Facebook, and Twitter. We're wherever you are.
Okay, welcome back to the show. Irvin and I have been talking to you about being in the moment.
That's right.
Being present. And you must be present to win in your business. And it's being able to be focused on the job at hand. It's able to be focused on the important things that make the difference in your business. And it's not to say that planning isn't important and forecasting isn't important.
Sure.
But it's definitely important to be in the moment.
Absolutely.
To be at the wheel.
Absolutely.
And when you're driving, you think about it like that. When I'm driving, I don't really have too much time to be worrying about what I'm going to be doing tomorrow or when I get home, or I need to be focused on getting to my destination safely, and that means being in the moment.
Absolutely. And John, let me tell you this. That's actually one of the reasons why a lot of people drive to relax. It's because
it focuses you.
They have to focus on driving, and they can't be focused on driving and all these other things going on.
Yeah.
And so guess what? The net result of that is it relaxes you. Yeah. I personally experienced that. That's why a lot of times I go on road trips. I believe that's why people go on road trips.
So you're not like Dr. DeMartini, who just absolutely hates driving.
Yeah, no, I'm not like that at all.
You look forward to it.
Yeah, I actually look forward to it.
I do too, especially road trips.
Yeah, I love road trips.
I do, and I like driving at night.
Yeah, I do too.
There are not that many cars on the road.
Right.
It's dark.
That's
I can control the temperature, and I can just
right.
zone right in on what I want to focus on, and that's good music and staying alive.
That's exactly right. It reminds me of a trip I took one time, 2:00 in the morning on a Wednesday morning, I should say, and I'm riding along the interstate with a highway patrol, and we were both driving about 110 miles an hour. And I didn't know he was a highway patrol, and I looked over, and he looked at me, and he tipped his hat.
And I'm sure he was thinking, imagine the balls on this guy. I'm not even going to pull him over. Wow, how funny. Well, I tell you what, I think this is great information. Guys, if you ever want to listen to this again, you can always tie into our past segments by tuning in or logging into cruzandhughes.com. We keep the Blog Talk icon right there at the top, so you can go back in, listen to any show in its entirety, and I think we've done a great job. I'm John Cruz.
I'm Irv Hughes.
And this is the place where we discuss the topics that inspires entrepreneurs from thought to action. And action is everything as we know it. So until tomorrow, be smart, be successful, and above all else,
be in action.
And Irvin and I will see you right here tomorrow.
Take care.